First, I'd like to pay my condolences to the DeHaven family for the loss of one of our elders. And then I would like to acknowledge all our wonderful elders sitting here, taking the time, and it's probably been a long while since you've been sitting there. So thank you for coming forward to listen to us. And I'll tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Doris. My ancestral name is Kalina. My grandmother is Maggie Lewis, and my grandfather is Shorty Andrews. I'm a mother of 5 children, 1 son, and 4 daughters. And I have 2 stepdaughters here. And I'm going to speak a little bit about my platform, and it's about the wellness, the safety of our community, and I hope that I can provide that services, continue to provide that services to our community.
Mantomi, Lansata, Holimath. The question that you have picked comes from Community Services category, and your question is, how will you involve off-reserve members?
That's a really good question, because I see that in the social media, the request of having off-reserve connected to our events here. To involve them, I know it's been raised and it's going to take some research to have like online voting that we did for one of the items that we had to vote on, because there's some that are so far away, and it'll cost them a lot of money to come to vote here, direct here. I know we do get the newsletter sent out, and I would also like, because they are on social media, asking for us to remember them, is to have our website updated all the time, and be available for phone calls. I try to answer all my phone calls and return calls if I have to. So it's very important to reach out to the nation members who live off reserve. I know myself, I have family members, my sister who lives up in Vernon, and it takes a lot for her to come down through the pass there, because it's Coquihalla is very, it's snowed them in their side. So it would have to take us all together to be able to communicate to them through the website and through Facebook and through snail mail. Thank you.
Mantomi, Holimath, Lansata. So our next number, getting down to the last few, 0876 639.
Hello, my name is Kyla Shornick. I'm part of the Williams, Jacobs, and Lewis families. I have my business degree and 6 years of professional work experience, 3 years which is with the government. I'd like to focus on increasing communications with plain language of just 1 or 2 pages so that everyone will understand with layman terms, once a month or every other month, so that everyone knows what's going on with Chief and Council as well with the nation. I'd like to increase youth opportunities such as career mentors, so that you're mentored to figure out what you want to do with your career and if you want to pursue education and what does that really mean for you, as well as conferences and things like TED Talks where we bring in inspirational speakers. Also, I'd like to increase our money spent and time allotted to culture and language and share things that I've been learning from Vanessa Campbell, such as phonetics, to learn our language. Thank you.
One out, swallowing, step nation amen. So your question is coming from education. And your question is, off-reserve children's education funding is now being cut. I live off-reserve, not me. What do you suggest as a solution to this topic? I'll read the question again. Off-reserve children's education funding has now been cut. I live off-reserve. What do you suggest as a solution to this?
I'm assuming they mean Squamish Nation funding and not funding from the government. That's what I'm assuming, because I know that the government does fund money to public schools that are not First Nations, but I think the reason they want money from Squamish Nation, and I'm assuming probably from the Squamish Nation Trust, is because the money that's coming from the government isn't even really going necessarily to our kids in the schools. I know this from my time with the Ministry of Education. They're trying to increase enhancement agreements, and one of the things I know, enhancement agreements is where we have to really hold them accountable. I'm pretty sure the Squamish Nation has one with a range of schools, and we have to hold them accountable and have our council and as well as committees stand up for our kids. One thing that I think we could do with our own money is have after-school programs where we help kids study and volunteer our time and really commit to helping the youth. There doesn't always have to be money. It could be things where we volunteer our own time. I know that I got my education and I need funding for tutoring, and it's very minimal and you have to put it up front yourself, but I could commit to looking into creating a network of people who could help our students, especially with mentoring in school and connecting so that it'd be something similar to Big Brothers Big Sisters, where you have somebody you can look up to and look towards graduating and moving on to post-secondary. I hope that answered your question to whoever submitted it, and I could talk to you about that afterwards. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Also, just another reminder to each and everyone who's here in attendance this evening, feel free to approach the running candidates who are here this evening. I'm sure I can speak on behalf of our running candidates this evening that are here, that they can and are willing to be approached by you for further future questions you may have that may not have been cleared or questioned this evening here as a part of this process. So yeah, feel free to approach them and exchange your personal information, emails, phone numbers, etc. So your next number is 0876643.
Good evening. Notice, it's good to see you here. It's good to see everyone here. Thank you for this. Volunteers here who put this up and volunteered their time. My registered name is
Juanita Marie O'Donoghue. But when my dad saw me, he said, her name is Mandy. So I'm known as Mandy Matthias. My mother is Phyllis, my grandfather is Chief Matthias Joe, and my great-grandfather is Chief Joe Catalano. My platform is, I believe in transparency and accountability, and I also believe that our people need to know what is available to us, what is our financial statements are, what our government should be, our constitution. We as people make those decisions as members.
We'll see you. Please follow us. So your question is coming from values and belief systems as the category you had chosen. So your question is, how will you improve communications and community spirit? I'll read it again. How will you improve communications and community spirit?
Communications. Well, first of all, we all have to come out to be able to talk with one another. So, family gatherings, barbecues, community events, come on out and we can all relate to each other and talk with each other openly and get to know one another.